update it periodically. Now it's really running and it's updating like every few minutes during the day. So you're getting almost real-time information. But on the first day of the month, if we have that down because we're updating a lot of information, you're not getting real-time information, and that's why you won't see it there. So don't worry too much. It'll be back.
It's not down.
Pardon me?
It's still down as of 1 minute ago. It's still not there from the first of the month to now.
Oh, really? Okay, let us check into that. That's a good comment. So let us check into that, and maybe if you can just send Jackie a screen print of what you see, please, and let us take that from you.
Yeah, I did send it to Scott and Rosario a couple of days ago. I will give you a trick. If you go in and that happens, what we did is we went in and exported it. So just export the data of all the districts. So right when you see everybody's listed, right, but you can't click in, we at least exported it. Did you try exporting all the data?
No, because when I export it, it mixes them all together. So well, the whole district is just smashed together.
Correct, but then we played filters. So we exported it, and I realized I have to teach everybody filter. No one knows Excel again. Okay, so I know
how to do it.
But so we'll do that because I noticed that on Monday when I was working with the directors. So we went and exported. It clicks your first row. We added filters, and we were able to sort it any way we wanted. So the data is there, but the front screen is still updating. So it's in the back side, but it's not on the front view for you to scroll and search. But once you export, we found everything. So FYI, in case Denise and Stacy don't know that, but I did send a note out that said we're still not seeing it on the front screen yet.
Jackie, do you mind to forward me and Stacy that email?
Yeah, I did it in WhatsApp, so I'll go back and find it.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, and if you send a screen print of what you see, it's always super helpful.
Yeah.
So Lisa, if you do that, because I will not be able to go and open an account today. I don't have it.
I know how to filter. I was just trying to not to have to.
But if you send a screenshot of what you're saying to me, then I'll send that to them. That would be awesome.
Okay.
Thank you. Then I don't have to go back in.
Screenshots are easy. Okay.
Yeah, definitely helpful to us. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, I'm going to get started because we're recording, but I captured that in case people were just joining us really quick. And we were talking about when we look at reports and you go in as of today, what's our date? The 7th. We know that we're still updating. We're validating and updating. Month end and beginning of month are always these gaps of time where we're confirming, validating data, and then uploading it again. That being stated, we're saying that we see today still that there are no, we can go to our district and we want to click on a leader, but we're not able to go in and get our data. So the trick to that for now, until it's all updated, and Stacy and Denise are going to take a peek at that, so we'll report that and see what's happening with that, is if you go into your district activity and just export. The minute you export all the activity, the first little line on the left side, you'll be able to see everybody, then add a filter, and you can sort it by leader, you can sort it by state, you can sort it by results. I just did that yesterday as well with Susan Anderson, and we were able to pull together all of her recognition from the last 2 months, and she didn't think she could see it. You can if you export. And then I sorted from everybody's in sales from each month, and it was like, there it was. And it took us about 10 minutes, but she had all of her recognition from the last 2 months. So if you ever get stuck, pause, breathe, call me. We went right on Zoom. I showed her how to do it, and before you know it, she had everything ready for her newsletter. So don't feel frustrated, just pause, but let us know, because again, we can go to Stacy and Denise and say, wait a minute, we got a little gap here. They can go look and go, okay, so we can work on it. And at the same time, I can teach you maybe a workaround until it's updated. So I just wanted to pause at the beginning of our recording here and just let you know what we were chatting about the minute I hit record button. But I want to now open officially and say thank you for joining us. This is Jackie Geisinger coming to you as your regional director for the Amber region, joining us on November 7th for our second time that we have our two computer gurus, Stacy Wolf and Denise Paxton, with us today to give us updates, tips, tools, and training, and some live Q&A on the updated computer system. So thank you, ladies, again for joining us from our wonderful home office. So welcome. Great to have you.
Thank you. We're excited to be here.
Go ahead, Denise.
I'm like, we're excited to be here, but we're so excited we don't know what to say.
We don't know where to begin.
Yeah.
It's overwhelming to us.
No worries. So some of the things that I wanted to go over today from the last meeting that we had, I had helped some people with some address changes, understanding why your billing address might be on one of your new consultants' account, things like that. So what I had done was, there's two ways of changing an address. One is when you want to make a permanent address change, you need to do it in the My Account section. If you want to make a temporary address change for that order only, you're going to do it through the order checkout. So if you edit your address or you add a new address during order entry, that is for that order only. So I don't know if people realize that. They may think, oh, I've added a new address, I've updated it, but they come back the next time and it's not there. And that's the reason why. So permanent address changes are made in My Account, and temporary address changes are during the checkout. So the other thing that we have on the system is we have an address verification software that when you type the address, it actually goes through the national database of addresses to the post office, and it will prompt you with the valid addresses. So I have a video that I recorded last night just to make sure that there wasn't any issues, because we are working right now in our testing environment, and I didn't want to get kicked out from people that are working on the next build. I think I told you guys the last time that we do system implementations once a month, and we're getting ready to do one again next week. So if you don't mind, I will show you my quick little video on addresses. Let me find it. So this one is for permanent address changes, and let me know if you guys have any problems in seeing it.
Can you see it before Denise begins?
Don't forget to hit the green share your screen.
You're not there.
Oh, I'm not sharing? Okay, hold on. Okay, now can you see it?
Yes.
Okay. Here we go.
Denise, is there supposed to be sound to your video?
I'm sorry, what did you say, Jackie?
Is there supposed to be any sound to your video?
Yeah, you can't hear it?
No.
Hmm.
Do you have your speaker into your computer?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Denise, is it going to throw you off completely to talk through it while it's going?
No. Let me just tell you what I was saying while the video was playing. Was basically, I'm telling you where to go on the My Account information, that you click on the shipping and mailing address. You're going to see your address. You click on edit. And then when you get to the shipping and mailing, you already have your shipping address there. So what I was saying is to erase all of the fields that you see. You don't necessarily have to erase the state field. But you do want to remove address line 1, address line 2, city, and zip code. And the reason why you want to do that is because when you start typing an address, it's going to start autofilling the address that you're typing. So I'm going to play the video and I will just talk through it. And see, I wonder why it doesn't play the sound.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically what I've done so far here is I've removed everything and I'm just getting ready to type an address so that you can see how it autofills. One quick tip too is to actually type the address a little bit slower than you normally would, because if you type too fast, you run over the address verification. And then that's when you can get invalid address errors. So here, let me go ahead and play. So I'm entering the our Jafra address and I'm typing it slow enough. And you can see that it's autofilled. So as I continue to text, then it's gonna filter down, and then there is the address you need to select. And you see that if I backspace or I go less of an address or more of an address, it brings up more or less. And then at that point, you're going to select from the drop-down menu and then save the address and it'll update it. And then the second thing that I wanted to show you is that when you're, so here I'm talking about the 9-digit zip code. In some rare instances, you're going to actually pick a 5-digit zip code. And in the example that I'm about to show in the video is an address that I was helping somebody sponsor the other day, and we found that you actually needed to pick, in this instance, a 5-digit zip code. So what I'm saying here is that, sorry, I'm listening to my voice at the same time that I'm trying to talk. But this address that we pick is in Plymouth, Mass. And you can see down there that one of them has a 5-digit zip code and one of them has a 9-digit zip code. So you'll notice that when I pick the 9-digit zip code in this example, and this is very rare that this happens, you'll see it says that it's invalid on line 2. And I happen to know that the apartment number is 16. So I'm going to put a pound and 16. And it's still telling me that it's invalid. I know that it's correct, but it's invalid. And believe it or not, the reason it's invalid is because of the pound sign. Okay. I didn't know what I was
I know
saying.
you do. I'm impressed.
Yeah. So what I'm saying in the video here, and I can send this video to you, Jackie, just so that you have it if anyone wants to actually hear and not me talking this way and showing the video. But what I was saying is that when you're typing your address, try not to use special characters. The post office doesn't like periods, it doesn't like pound signs, it doesn't like commas, anything like that. So what we found the error is that it was the pound sign. So see here, when I picked the 5-digit zip code, it prompted me to pick the apartment. And the apartment is APP, which is what's recognized by the post office. So even though it says invalid address there, that's just the error message from before. But when I click on save, it updated it. So that is making a permanent address change versus a temporary address change. And then here's how you would edit a billing address. So the billing address and the credit card are linked together. So if you need to update your billing address, you actually have to have credit card information in there. So what I'm showing you here is that even if I say, oh, my billing address is the same as the mailing address, I can't update the address because there's no credit card there. So what I'm doing is I'm in the quality environment and I'm entering a credit card, and you'll notice that once I enter the credit card, then I'm actually able to save the address. And here's one thing that you may or may not know is that the billing address is actually the address that we use to mail you your brochures. It's not the mailing address that you see on the prior screen. So that's something that we're working on, but if you have sponsored anyone, when you signed them up and you happen to pay for them with your credit card, your address is actually on their account. And then when it comes time to mail them the action brochure or client brochure, it's going to go to your house because that's the address that's on file. So for the consultants who may have your address, the fix for that is for them to go in, put their credit card information, and then update the billing address to their own. We do know that we're working on something that there's some people that if they change their shipping address, it automatically changes their billing and vice versa. And that is something that we're actively working on. So they'll be able to have an independent billing address and an independent shipping address. So hopefully that was a quick tip. I wish that you could hear my video because I'm trying to talk over myself. So the next video that I have is actually just showing you how to make a temporary address change. Oops. Where am I? Sorry, guys.
So may I ask a question?
Uh-huh.
So if a client goes to our website and their credit card is billed to a P.O. box, but their shipping address is actually their home,
Mm-hmm.
where is Jafra going to send that order?
They're going to send the order to their house, not to their P.O. box.
Okay, so the orders on website orders, our individual website orders, always will be shipped to the shipping address regardless of the billing address.
That's correct.
Okay, but you're saying that that's not necessarily the case for our orders through Jafra Biz.
No, it will still ship to your orders will ship to your shipping address on file. We do know that there are some consultants that when they change their billing address, it updates their shipping address as well. And that's something that we're working on, and we're really, really close to having that fixed. So does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, perfect. So the next video is talking about go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, hold on one second. I have a thought maybe here.
Okay.
Where's the control for the Zoom control?
Down here.
Because I'm thinking that if we change the microphone here to computer microphone, it's going to pick up the speaker.
Oh, okay, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So meeting controls.
Let's see.
Sorry, ladies.
I just have one thought that might make this better.
She always has really good thoughts.
But they're good thoughts, but they're not always. Oh, there it is. Go to that, please.
Which one?
I saw it pop up. No.
Stop sharing really quick.
Just 1 second, ladies. Let us try to fix the sound quality for us here. Here, this one.
All right, now play the video.
Okay, let's see if this works. If you guys can hear the video, just let me know.
For making temporary address changes, you would change them during the checkout. Jackie, can you hear that now?
Yes, we heard it.
Okay, so
great.
you just can't see it yet, right?
Correct.
Okay, we're almost there, Jackie. Give us a second.
See, I told you that she's great. She always has these good ideas. Okay. So I've already added an item to my cart, and I'm going to go through the checkout process. So this is me placing an order, and I'm just going to go through. If I click edit here, it's an edit for this order only. If I want to ship to a new address, again, it's this order only. So for this order, I'm going to ship it to Stacy at Jafra. And again, my address is coming up. And you'll notice that if I try and type it too fast, notice that it didn't come up because I typed faster than the system could identify it. So one of the biggest tips is when you're typing your address, type it slow enough. I know that sounds weird to say slow down, but type it slow enough so that the system can actually identify the address that you're trying to type. And this is going to help you with getting your order and your mail as quickly as possible, because this is the United States Post Office identifying this as a valid address. So when I choose my address from here, this is a one-time order only.
Play-Doh.
Just check out here.
I'm playing Play-Doh.
And the key will be these are test cards, and depending on the dollar amount, it will either pass or fail. So I'm gonna just jump ahead for a second. Give me 1 second. Okay, so at this point, I've already added my credit card. I have a credit balance on my account. I'm clicking on next. Here's my final review. You can see here that my order is shipping to Stacy. And so when I place my order, I'm going to get my order confirmation. And then you'll notice that when I go back to my account, my shipping address still says Plymouth, Mass, because that was a temporary address change for that order only. But just keep that in mind, that if you want to make a one-time address change, you can do so during placing an order. And if you are going to make a permanent address change, you need to come to the My Account section and edit your address here. Okay, thanks so much. Okay, so can you still hear me? Yeah, okay, good. So that was making the address changes. One of the leaders that I spoke to last week, she wasn't feeling comfortable to make her address change during the checkout process. So what she actually was doing was she was going into her account, she was changing her address permanently. Then she was going to place the order and check out because she wanted to send it to her sister in another state. So she had changed the address, she went to checkout, and then as soon as she was done with the order, she went back into her account and she changed it again. And guess what happened? The order went to her own address. And the reason why is she did it so fast that the system is actually grabbing the address that's on your account and it sent it to the different place. So if for whatever reason, I don't recommend doing that, but if for whatever reason that's the way that you choose to do it, change your address, place the order, and wait until the order ships until you change it back. because otherwise you could end up getting the order at the wrong address.
But if you change the address in the order itself, like Denise just showed you, the system knows this is where you want this specific order to go to. So even if you place a second order, let's say, to another address, it's not going to influence the first one. That address itself is directly linked with that specific order. So the best way to ensure that your order goes to a specific address is really to do it within the order.
Yeah, perfect. One of the things that was asked in the last meeting was, what is the difference between sponsoring on Jafra.com versus my personal website versus Jafra Biz? And the two main differences are, if you sponsor on Jafra Biz or you sponsor from your personal website, your new consultant has the opportunity in those instances to place an order along with her business kit. So, and also the sponsor in those instances cannot be changed. So if you're coming from Jafra Biz, you're the sponsor. If you're coming from your personal website, you're the sponsor, and you don't have an opportunity to change who that is. If you sponsor on Jafra.com, your new consultant has the opportunity to choose which sponsor she wants to come in under, but she's limited to only purchasing her starter kit. She cannot purchase an order. So I did a document just to show you guys the difference of, sorry, it should have been scrolled to the top in the beginning, but you know, that's just how we are. So for Jafra.com, hopefully you guys can all see the screen. You see here in the upper right-hand corner, excuse me, left hand, the other right. Here's where they're going to select you as their beauty consultant. They can either select there, or once they've clicked on become a consultant and they've said who they are, the consultant's information is right here, but they have the opportunity to change it either down here, or they can change it up here in the Find a Beauty Consultant link. And what we added since our last meeting is that, excuse me, on the review and confirmation page, the sponsor's ID and sponsor's name is now just above the birth date. So on Jafra.com, they still have the opportunity to change it. So if for whatever reason it's not you, they have 3 places that they can make the correction. Now on Jafra Biz, you are shown here that you're the consultant. You can notice that there isn't an option for you to change it. During the checkout process, or the sign-up process, excuse me, there's not an opportunity to change it. And then in the review and confirm page, it's just your ID and your name. You can't change it. And that goes true also for Jafra.com, your personal website. It looks a little bit different. It shows your information, your cell phone, your email, your URL. Up here, again, they don't have the opportunity to change it. During the process, again, this looks just like Jafra Biz. It's just your ID and your name. They cannot change it. And you'll notice right here, see where it says qualify as a consultant today and add your favorite products. That's in the accord. We call this an accordion, these specific steps. That's where they can go and place their order. Okay, and then lastly, here again is the review and confirm page that they don't have the opportunity to change it. So that was just one of the questions that we had the last time. You know, what's the difference if I sponsor from here or there? Another question was, do we still have Jafra for you? No, we don't. We have Jafra.com and we have Jafra Biz. We have become a consultant and sponsoring.
These are such important things for us to know.
Marilyn, that was your question, actually. I remembered.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So I'm looking at my notes to make sure that I want to cover everything. I think I touched already on, I guess I should show you something better then.
I have a question about sponsoring.
Go ahead.
Well, I noticed that when you go to Jafra.com and click on Become a Consultant, there's this whole beautiful page, a landing page.
Mm-hmm.
It talks about the commission, the wording is beautiful, everything is just awesome. But when somebody goes to my website and click on Become a Consultant, all they get is an information box that asks for a lot more information than some people are willing to give when they are just looking.
Yeah.
So why don't we have a landing page on our personal websites, just like the Jafra.com? There's nowhere where we can send a consultant to show her what's available, because if I send her to Jafra.com, I have to trust that she'll come back to me, or that she won't follow through on that page and end up somewhere under somebody she doesn't want. Yeah. So my question is, why don't we have a landing page on our personal websites?
Yeah. Let me ask you a question. In that first landing page at Jafra.com, when somebody hits that first landing page on Jafra.com, we do capture this basic information if they say learn more, and
right.
And it's so we have an opportunity to follow up with people that haven't been directed to a website, that are just kind of out there or see an ad, and they come and they're interested in, but they're not quite committed to understand. Let me ask you a question. For your personal web pages, if we had that landing page, it's more information. Your prospective consultant, your prospective sponsor would have to go through it and learn more before she gets to become a consultant. Do you think that's a step that prospective consultants would want to go through?
I think, and I've talked to several leaders, that they want this information first. They're not willing to give up their information for nothing, and they don't know what's on the other side of that box.
Yeah. Okay.
Even we don't know what's on the other side of that box. We can't even tell them. Okay, so the landing page needs to be front and center, just like at Jafra.com. And I think that would go a long ways to help this sponsoring slump that we're in. There's no really easy one-click way to get a consultant the information about what it is or what she would need or what she has available. There's just nothing.
All right. This is, first of all, thank you very much for giving us the feedback on that landing page. You're right, it is beautiful. We thought so too. So let us take that feedback. This is a great comment for this meeting, and these are the things that we really want to hear. So thank you very much. Denise and I will talk about it, and we'll see what we can do with that feedback to incorporate something.
Maybe there's a way to incorporate the landing page without the capture.
Because the thing is, we want them to proceed on your personal website.
Yeah.
We don't want to hinder their progress at all in your sponsoring on your webpage. So let us talk about what we can do. And I don't think just to set expectations, I don't think we'll have an answer for you at our next Zoom meeting next week.
Yeah.
But let us come back to you with something in December, and we'll take the question.
Yeah. And it's a really great idea and great comment. So we definitely appreciate it. Throughout these meetings, as we do them, you ladies are going to make comments, you're going to ask questions, you're going to make requests. And we can't always accommodate all things that are asked, but sometimes it's like just one little, hey, did you think about? And we're like, oh my gosh, wow, no, we didn't. But it's super important to you. So, it never hurts to put it out there. Some things are, sometimes they go unanswered, and sometimes it's a big change, and it helps everybody. So that was a great one, Lisa. I appreciate it.
Going right along with what Lisa was saying about the landing page, Beauty Suite is also not on our websites. So all those articles and everything, we don't have a way to share them to get people back to our websites.
Can you, I'm sorry, Andy, can you clarify which ones are you talking about?
In the
The
tab
beauty
for
scene?
beauty scene?
Yes.
Yeah. We don't have beauty scene on our websites either.
No, and Will's the best person to answer that. We've actually never had beauty scene on our personal websites. It's always been very segregated, I guess.
Well, before we were able, or those of us that knew anyway, we could add our little ending to our website. So we could get the link from Jafra.com and then add our question mark equals blah, 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 and link our own website. So I could share that way, but it doesn't work like that very well anymore. Because I love those articles, but I'm scared to share them because I don't want people to end up on Jafra.com and end up around me.
And go into the house branch, whatever that is.
Right.
That's me. Send everybody to me. No, I'm just kidding. Marilyn, you're probably in the house branch.
And Denise, you're in our region, and we expect you to start showing up on reports with sponsoring results. Come on.
I know. Well, actually, you know what? If you see my sponsoring, it's all test accounts. It's like October test, November test, the 15th test. Like everybody's got a test name.
And then there's me. And
then there's Stacy.
And I belong to her.
I am so glad you are willing to spend this time with us, because when we look at all these important topics, there's two different reasons for looking at them. One is why, and the other is what. And you guys are working on the what, and we're asking questions about the why.
Yeah.
And what our purpose is not the same as yours often, because we're working two different jobs.
Right.
So
Yeah, but you know what? We're here to partner with you, and
Yes,
you know that's why we're doing these calls. We're gonna, we've scheduled out November and December, and then we'll take it from there. You know, if it turns out that you need them more often, or they're too long, or they're too frequent, we're just kind of playing it by ear right now. But just know that we definitely are your partners, and we're here to help you.
Yeah. And Marilyn, we sit here and we talk a lot. Denise, so we talk a lot. But we talk a lot about what we think would be great for you. And we try to come up with ideas like, they really would like this.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes we're like, ooh, maybe it's a double-edged sword because of this or that. And so these meetings also help us
to bounce ideas too.
Yeah, and also to prioritize for what you need the most. So it's really meant to be an exchange of information, these meetings. So we also agree we're really enjoying it.
Yeah, one thing, one just side comment, I can kind of see off to the right that, that there's chat going on. Just know that we can't necessarily read the chat while we're doing the meeting, because otherwise we're going to be like this and not like this. So if anything comes up, maybe I can lean on Jackie if there's something real hot over there that needs to be addressed towards the end, or if I don't answer something, or Stacy's not able to answer something, we'll either try and send out a message or try and come back in the next meeting to follow up. So just to get that out there. The last thing really that I wanted to show you guys is about passwords. How passwords, how do you create it? How do you change it? What happens if it's locked? What are the rules? And things like that. So, when you sign up as a new consultant, on the last page, it tells you to go ahead and select your password. And I have a little video and I'll show you. In there, it tells you the rules. So let me show you the video, and then I'm gonna pause while it's there on resetting the password, because there was one thing that I forgot to record. But let me share again. And let me go to my recordings. Okay, so this video is about creating and updating passwords. And hopefully
are you sharing? So when you're sponsoring someone,
Yes.
You guys can see it and you can hear it, right?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Someone at the very end, when you click on place order, you're prompted with this modal window that's asking you what is your goal and to create your password. So I'm going to say I want to work for myself, and I'm going to create a password. So the rules of this password is that they're case sensitive. It needs to be between 6 and 15 characters long. It needs to have a number and at least a letter. And I'm going to show you all the rules in just 1 second. So when I do this, it's going to ask me, so here's the rule. Passwords must be between 6 and 15 characters, have at least one number, one letter, and cannot repeat the same character more than 3 times in a row. In addition to that, it actually is case sensitive and it can't contain special characters. So we're in the process of updating this content to make it very clear, because if you try and select a special character, you're not going to know why your password's not accepting. So I'm going to create my password. And that's how the password is created. Once I do that, then I get my confirmation page and she's all set, ready to log in. So from there, this is going to tell me who the person is and then log in. So let's say that I'm going to go to log in. And when I do that, it takes me here. And let's say I don't remember the password that I just chose, or my caps lock is on, or I don't remember if I did this letter or that letter uppercase. What's going to happen is if I type it incorrectly, it's going to give me an error. Password and consultant ID is incorrect. The tip here is don't keep trying multiple times. If you try, let's say 5 to 7 times, at that point, your best bet is to say that you forgot your password. Because if you do it multiple times, it will lock the account and you will have to call customer service to have it unlocked. So utilize the forgot your password link. And when this comes up, it's going to say, if you'd like to reset your password, please enter your consultant ID. And then it's going to send you an email to unlink your password. So I'm going to enter in my account. One thing here that I forgot to record in the video is that if your consultant does not have an email on file, she has to call customer service to get her password reset for her. We don't currently have the ability to reset it via text message or phone, so they do need to call. Yeah. Okay. So. But in this case, I do have an email on file. I'm going to wait for the email. So let me get the email and go from there. So I got my email and it says I can either reset password or I can copy this link and paste it in my browser. So I'm going to one thing about the copy and paste, the reason why it's there is that we've found in some iOS devices that when you try and click on the reset password, it doesn't always work. So that's why we added the copy and paste in the browser. So if you're wondering why that would be there, that's the reason why. I'm going to go ahead and click on reset password. And then from here, I'm going to select my new password. And again, just make sure that your caps lock is not on or anything like that, because the passwords are case sensitive. So I will create my password. It's been successfully updated, and now I can log in. Here is my reset password. And just like that. So there it goes. Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. So we have had questions about the password and what are the rules and whatnot. So I thought that was just a quick, helpful tip on doing that. I hope that was helpful for you. And then we have just 2 other miscellaneous things. We're getting close to the end here.
Okay.
That I'm going to let Stacy take over.
Oh, yeah. So let's say, should we go with the bad news first?
Sure.
So we're aware that currently we have a problem with the shipping, the free shipping that's on the Action magazine. We understand that we have an issue. We're really trying to work to solve the issue. The team was working pretty late last night. We go through a process when we have a problem, as we mentioned last time, that we test it and we try. We want to make sure that as we fix something, we don't break something else. So our testing process is a little bit rigorous. So we're actively working on a fix to it. Excuse me. We're hoping in the next day or two that we do have this fix in place. More to come on that. However, if somebody in these days, while it's not fixed, is being charged shipping, we will proactively go back and review all of the orders placed before the fix goes in, and we will issue credits to those accounts for those shipping fees. So we will definitely review all the orders to make sure that we honor the commitment we showed on the Action magazine. There will be more to come. One thing, just for you to know, one thing we may need to do to get this fix in, and I'm pretty sure we will need to do this. This free shipping is for anybody that placed their last order August or before, essentially. And it means that some of those consultants are active consultants that are not yet shown as pre-inactive. In order to make our fix work, we will probably need to show those people as pre-inactive in the reports. So if you're looking at your downline, we may have to, let's say, fake the system a little bit to show those people as pre-inactive. I think overall in the population, it's people that placed an order in August and have not placed an order since. I believe it to be about 5,000 people, if I recall. So we will definitely let you know if that becomes a reality, but expect that that's part of our workaround solution. Okay, so we understand it's an issue. We will issue the credits as needed, and we are actively working on the fix today. Okay, that's the bad news with a little bit of good news in it, because
we'll make it right.
We're going to make it right. That's the good news. But we have more good news. So we're actually also working super hard on summer trip. And we want to have the summer trip reporting out on Jafra Biz review in December.
Bless you.
And, we have developed the summer trip reports. So when you go to Jafra Biz, your summer trip qualification and points will be there. We are testing those reports starting today. So that means we have the rest of the month to test and get it right, so we can get those reports out on Jafra Biz, not Jafra Royal. We'll have those out in December. So that's good news. I think it's the earliest that we've been able to get those reports out to you.
Yeah.
And we understand how important it is for you to see. For you and your teams, how they're doing for summer trip. So we want to end on good news.
Yes.
So those things we're working on here in the home office.
Sorry, Marilyn, it looked like you were trying to say something. We couldn't hear you.
I'm just laughing that I think this is the first I've heard of any summer trip. So I'm listening.
Oh. Well, have we ever not had a summer trip? We've always had a summer trip, right?
We only have one when we announce one.
That's true.
Okay, so let's put it this way. Theoretically, if we have a summer trip, as soon as the qualification starts, we'll have reporting out for you.
And only in the last year or two have we utilized December. So I'm just saying, I haven't seen it either. I know nothing, but I think that's kind of that if you look back at patterns. But the good news is we have reports, which we didn't have last year. Right. So that's like rock star. Yay, we'll take it.
Yeah. So we're not just working on fixes, we're working on improvements for the future. And so as the summer trip materializes and the qualifications materialize, our intention is to have reports available for you in line and at the same time as the communication, maybe, you know, within a few days or a week or so. But what we don't want is the communication, hey, summer trip's coming, here's what you need to do. And then a month later for you to say, what is everybody doing? So that's our overall goal.
Yeah.
Can I just ask a question?
I'm sorry, Lisa, you're only allowed one comment per meeting. No, I'm just kidding.
No,
Go ahead.
wait. Lisa,
I want to borrow one of somebody else's. So those few people.
Okay.
Anyway, your first comment was so good, you're allowed to.
Yeah, that's true.
Ignore her.
A lot of them that's not using it. I'm just going to borrow one. Y'all can have one of my next meeting, I think. Okay, here's my question. All of this is really good, and you know, if I miss one, I always listen to the replay because it always has great information. So thank you, Denise and Stacy. Okay, so but here's my question. I take notes every time, and it's a lot of stuff to remember.
Okay.
So and so you were talking about what you hope to accomplish in the end, how you hope things are. Is it the goal that once this whole process is done, however long it takes, that we won't have to remember all these little bitty details, that the system will just work intuitively? Because even as leaders, trying to remember all these different scenarios, we don't have a PhD in coding or tech or anything.
Absolutely. The one of the reasons that we're doing these is because we know that the system's not perfect right now. We know that, we have room for improvement. But in the meantime, while we're working on it, let us share what we do know with you to help you through some of the hurdles that you have. So that's kind of the purpose. One, show you how to utilize the system and also share those tips and tricks with you until we can get to a much smoother ground. And then it's not going to be necessary. It's going to be intuitive. Like you said, you won't need to know, if I backspace out the address, then I can type the address and things like that.
So, and for example, last time we talked about the credit cards, right? And what we want to do to fix the credit cards. And Denise showed some workarounds. If you get the third time is the charm, where you can't click on the red button. So we're showing you that. We understand that that's really an issue for you. We're working on fixing it, but we want to give you the tips and tricks to manage in the meantime. Another thing is that we want to explain to you sometimes why the system does things like it does, like the address verification. The purpose of the address verification is so that you actually do get your order and your information and your brochures timely, that we don't have a gap with UPS because they don't know the address and they return the package to us. So we want to do the validation first before we turn the package over to them, because we believe it to be a better service for you. So part of this also is to explain and take the opportunity to explain that that's the purpose of address verification.
One super quick thing about addresses that I forgot to mention that you just said for UPS is that the address verification software that we use is through the United States Post Office, their database. So when we're validating an address, it's according to the United States Post Office. UPS may deliver to that address, but the post office may not. So if it's in a super rural area, you may have to drive into town to pick up your mail. And you may find that the address is going to say invalid, even though you know that it's valid. And the one limitation is that if the post office doesn't deliver there, or you've put your mail on hold, or you don't have a mail receptacle or something like that, you could encounter issues with the address, knowing for sure that it's a valid address, but because the post office doesn't deliver there, the address verification is going to say no.
And if there's a new subdivision, one of my consultants had that problem. It was a subdivision and she couldn't get an order.
Yeah, if it's a new subdivision, that happened to me personally, and it took me about 2 months to be able to actually get mail. I had to go to the post office and things like that. So yes, that does happen. The software is updated frequently, but in those really rare instances, I would say, for the time being, ship it to your work, ship it to a family member, just for a short period of time, because there's really nothing that we can do to prevent it.
And that's really on the post office side.
Yeah.
For recognizing that as a valid address.
Yeah. So we're running out of time, and I think that Jackie has another meeting that she has to run to. But, you know, on behalf of Stacy and myself, thank you so much for giving us your time and allowing us to chat with you. And, you know, we really appreciate it. We'll be here again next week at the same time, the same bat time, same bat channel. Is that what they say?
Yeah.
What are you doing, Mama?
Hi, sweetie.
We see a very young Jafra consultant join.
Yes. The future of our company. So Jackie, I don't know if you have anything in closing. You know, just thank you on behalf of us to
Yes. So thank you. We appreciate it. Like Marilyn said so well, we really appreciate it. We need it. We understand the why. You help us with the hows, and we keep working together. So just for everyone, if you have particular topics, sorry, bear with me here. If you have particular topics, feel free to WhatsApp me privately, call me, text me, email me, as we build a list of the most frequently things that I'm seeing, I'm working with, I'm helping with. Denise and Stacy see in the back in the office there. You know, we really take our topics and work with them. I know a few of you said, you know, some help with some reports, things like that. That topic comes up a lot. I think one of them, again, is if you need help with reports or learning Excel or anything like that. I know I just can't in the next week, but, you know, we can certainly help you and give you some tutorials again. Or if you go into our Facebook group, by the way, or even on Beauty Insiders, I think we had some, and you search bar, you can find how to work with Excel and how to read reports. We've done lots of little mini tutorials, or even go to YouTube, type in Lori Alley Jafra and search bar reports or Excel, and we'll have they're already there and recorded. But any one-on-one you need, great. I will tell you that is not typically what Stacy and Denise work with is reports. They're working with the system. So we're going to work on, Denise and I already talked about getting, is it Luce that works with the report?
Yeah, Luce is really our guru on reports. So when we get to the report section, I'm going to ask her to come in and help us, because I don't want to answer anything incorrectly. Or show you anything incorrectly. So it may be beneficial for Luce and I to do some pre-recorded videos like this. I think that, you know, I don't know how helpful it was, but for me, just to know that I'm not in the test environment, it's not going to go down, or somebody's not going to override what I'm typing or anything like that. So, and I have the videos if anybody feels.
Denise, if you just take those videos, I was going to say, if you just take the little videos you made and share it to me on WhatsApp,
sure,
then I can just share it to the whole region between there and Facebook. So that's really, really easy. So again, and I can do the same thing as I identify the needs. If you need a tutorial on Excel, I can make one if we don't have one sitting there. So this is group effort, and we want you to know, keep reaching out to your consultants this season. Help them with their orders. Like we said last time, pull up a Zoom room. You get 40 minutes free for up to 50 cameras. And collectively help them and show them like we're doing, or forward these tutorials to them. So again, we're trying to keep everybody going, like Lisa said, until it's all ducks in a row. We're going to keep doing this together, because we know this really is important to your income. And it's such a great season to go out and share. And so we want to keep your team happy. So again, thank you so much for that. We'll keep bringing you more topics. For the rest of November, our final one for November is next Wednesday, same time, same place. And then the 5th of December, and wait, I might have the wrong date.
The 5th and the 17th.
Yeah, 5th and the 19th, right?
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't either. But it's the 1st and 3rd Wednesday.
The 5th and the 19th.
Yeah, it was the same. Okay, good. Thank you. So 5th and 19th in December. So save your calendars. This is for leaders to come together, and they'll be 1 hour long like this. We will record and post this as well. So again, thank you, Stacy. Thank you, Denise. And leaders, please feel free to stay with me as I stop the recording and we let them exit. So thank you so much again. Appreciate it. Bye till next week.
Bye.
Bye.